I can't formulate thoughts today. Nothing's going right and everything's going wrong. That's it. That's the whole story. Hi friends, welcome back to my channel. Today we are going to talk about something that I mentioned in pretty much every video I've made to date, and that's Upwork. Pretty much if you watch any of my videos, you've heard me say that Upwork is not it, kids. It's not what you want to be doing. It's not the way to build a freelance career. And today I'm going to tell you why exactly I feel that way. So a little disclosure, I do not use Upwork. I have never used Upwork, and nor do I plan to. So if you are looking for more of a review on how Upwork works, try and say that fast, how Upwork works. This is not it. There's reasons you shouldn't use it. There are lots of people who like it. I'm not one of them. And so if you need convincing for reasons you shouldn't use it, then this is the video for you. Okay, onwards. The first reason I don't really recommend Upwork for newbies or really anyone is just because of their fee structure, which I find to be pretty ridiculous just compared to how, traditional freelancing works. With Upwork, what happens is, first of all, I didn't even know this till I started looking into it. You have to pay to apply to a job. So Upwork says it costs 15 cents per connect. Connects are what you use to submit a proposal for jobs posted in the marketplace. Depending on the job post, you will use between 1 and 6 connects to submit a proposal. So there's a sliding scale. And basically what happens is jobs, they're going to pay more. Jobs that are ongoing, they're going to cost more to apply to, which I guess makes sense. In theory, they're more valuable, but at the same time, I think it's actually absurd that they make you pay to apply a job. So if you want to go and apply to 10 jobs, you have to pay at least 15 cents per job. If I knew math, I could do that in my head, but I don't. I'm a writer. So to apply to 10 jobs, it's going to be $1.50. Is that the end of the world? No, but what we're also going to get into is that Upwork is extremely competitive, so the chances of you getting those jobs are pretty slim. And so it's basically just throwing money away. Personally, I think it's a much better idea to just apply to regular jobs that you find on Indeed or other freelance job boards that I've talked about before. It doesn't cost money to apply. You don't have to pay to submit your application, and ultimately, I think the jobs are going to be more high quality than what you're going to find on Upwork. Additionally, Upwork is going to take a portion of your earnings. So there are a lot of sites like Upwork that are kind of freelance job boards, but Upwork is interesting because it kind of has a sliding scale for its service fees. And so Upwork charges 20% for the first $500 billed with your client. Once you reach $500 billed with a client, they charge 10%. And if you reach $10,000, they charge 5%. The way I understand this, it's for every single client. So every client you start with, you have to get to 500 before you get the reduced service fee. And so if we're taking, let's just do the math out real quick. You earn $500 with a client, and Upwork's going to take 20%. 20% of 500 is 100, so you're walking away with $400, which not too bad, but keep in mind this is pre-tax. So then you have to take taxes out of that, so that's going to be another roughly 25%, depending on what tax bracket you're in. And so then you're going to walk away with $300. So you did $500 worth of work, and all of a sudden you only get to take home $300. That's kind of crazy. If I personally bill a client $500, after taxes, I get about $375. Basically, you are sacrificing $75 for that work just because you're going through a platform. I don't think it's worth it. There are enough expenses as a freelancer between, taxes, healthcare, different fees, that I don't think you should willingly use platforms that charge you money unless you absolutely have to. Upwork is popular among new freelancers who don't really have a portfolio, who think, okay, I can just submit job proposals and I will get a job. And to some extent that might be true, but the odds are kind of stacked against you. First of all, it's super competitive. There are so many writers on Upwork that, any given job has like 20 applicants, and you have to compete against them, not only in terms of your experience, but in terms of your price. And people always say, Upwork is a race to the bottom. Clients that use Upwork are not necessarily concerned with the quality of work. They'd rather just find cheap work. And honestly, in job postings, there's a little section that sometimes literally says, like, I just want freelancers with the lowest rates, which is insane. And so when you're applying to jobs like that, they're more concerned about getting the best deal than they are about getting the best content. And as such, you're not going to be able to charge necessarily what your writing is worth. You're going to have to charge less than what other freelancers are charging in order to land the job, which is just a good way to sell yourself short and not make the money you're worth. Another thing I found out about Upwork as I was doing a little bit of research for this video is that from the client end, Upwork actually recommends freelancers for any given job. So if I'm a client, I post a job and 50 people apply to it, it's going to recommend the people it thinks are best fit for that job. And it's going to, show me the results, show me my applicants, starting with the people it thinks are best suited for the job. If you're new and have no experience, it actually puts you in a different category, and you actually have to check off, like, yes, I want to see people with little to no job experience. And so if you're that person with little no job experience, it's not even putting your application in front of the client immediately, which is stupid, frankly. And it's going to make it that much harder for you to get going on the platform. While this is not necessarily true across the board, I would say that a lot of the people who go and post jobs on Upwork are looking for cheap labor. They're not going to pay fair rates. They don't care if you're going to do the best job. They care that you're going to do the job for the least amount of money. And those are not clients you want to build relationships with. You want to build relationships with clients that see the value in your writing and are willing to pay fairly for it. That is, at the end of the day, the key to being a freelance writer. There are 3,634 writing jobs right now today. And you can either choose hourly jobs, fixed price jobs, or both. So we'll just look at both for now. Get paid to read. Read and summarize books, nonfiction, 8,000 words. 8,000 words. Oh my God. For $100. That's the first result that came up. Let me just do that math for you real quick. $100 divided by 8,000 words. That's less than a cent a word. And so just for reference, there are magazines out there that pay $1 a word. So you write that same length article and you get $8,000 compared to $100. Again, so cheap. And these people even have the audacity to list it as an intermediate experience level job. That's insane. Here's another one. Blogs, fixed price. We need 400 250 to 500 word blogs. And they're going to pay $20 for them. That's nice. Even starting out, I made 20 cents a word. It's not unheard of for new freelance writers to get decent pay. You deserve decent pay. Really. Like, it doesn't matter if you haven't been doing this for years. It's not an excuse to pay people non-livable wages. Like, if you did the math out, a lot of these job postings would be less than minimum wage. At that point, just go work in retail and you'll make minimum wage and you'll make more money. I'm upset. Whew. Hold me back. The final thing I take issue with when it comes to Upwork is the fact that Upwork is not on your side. And you can go on like Reddit and read horror stories about this. But so Upwork, you're not their client. The clients are. So Upwork isn't concerned with keeping you happy. They're concerned with keeping their clients happy. So the clients continue to use Upwork to find freelancers. So pretty much across the board in a dispute about, they didn't pay you on time, they didn't accept your work, Upwork is going to take the client's side. And so it's a good way to lose money if some crappy client decides they don't want to pay you for what you wrote because they didn't like it. All that work is out the drain because Upwork's not going to make them pay you. And that's, again, it's ridiculous. This video has basically been me ranting about why I think Upwork is the worst. If Upwork works for you, that's great. Different things work for different people. And if you found success there, keep doing what you're doing. That's great. That's awesome. But if you're just starting out with freelancing, I don't recommend you use these type of platforms because they do nickel and dime you out of your money. They don't necessarily pay fair wages. And it's just not a good way to build a sustainable career as a freelance writer. So thank you so much for watching. If you want more tips on how to become a freelance writer, make sure to subscribe to the channel. We put out videos every Friday. Thanks so much, guys. I'll see you next time.